to another video. Today I'm actually doing some interior work. The interior trim on the steering wheel, if any of you guys have Genesis Coupes or know about the 13 Genesis Coupes, I don't know if this happens with the 14s and newer, but the 13s have terrible paint peeling issues, and they always have, and it's on the exterior a little bit, but it's mainly in the interior. All the interior trim that's like that silvery color trims off really, really bad. It peels like crazy. So basically what I've gone ahead and done is I've already taken the steering wheel apart. I'll go more in depth on how to do that later in the video, because it is quite a process to get this little piece out. But I've already sanded it down. For some reason I was just gonna paint stripper it at first. I was just gonna paint strip it and let that gloss black underneath be the final like finish that I was gonna use, but for some reason it does not want to get paint stripped. I've used a multitude of different products and it does not work. I've used brake parts cleaner, I've used paint thinner, I've used paint stripper, I've used pretty much everything imaginable, and this stuff just does not come off. I don't know why, it just doesn't. Anyways, I'm gonna be painting this today. I'm actually gonna paint it white to match the exterior of the car, and I don't want to do it in a tacky way. I'm obviously gonna have to paint some other stuff in the interior white to match it, so it's not the only white thing in the interior. But I'm gonna have to do it in a way that's not tacky, because the last thing I want to do is make this car look ricey in any way. So I'm probably just gonna do very subtle hints of white. Like, I'm not gonna paint the entire dash white or anything. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. I'll probably paint like the little like silver trim on the cup holder. I'll probably paint that white as well, because it's peeling pretty bad. But I've got the piece set up to spray, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started painting this thing. All right, so while I'm waiting for that stuff to be ready for a second coat, I am going to show you guys exactly how you do this, because it's quite a process. All right, so before I really get into this, I want to mention one thing, and that's about the SPEC models. I believe they have a different steering wheel, sort of like a metal bracket system, than regular gens do. I don't know why this is, and I don't know if the screw holes are different because of it. Someone, if you guys know in the comment section, please let me know. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So first things first, you're going to want to take your airbag assembly out. Now, I unplugged my battery because I didn't want to risk anything. I don't think your airbag could even go off from this, because I'm pretty sure an impact sensor has to be tripped for an airbag to go off, and I don't see how this would trip an airbag or a impact sensor, so I think you're fine. But I just wanted to be 100% safe, and I went ahead and unplugged the battery because I'm not taking any risks with this. In order to take the airbag out, there is a bolt here and a bolt here, which you can access at the back of the steering wheel. But one thing you should know, at least on my car, these bolts were extraordinarily tight. But after you do that, this piece, your airbag assembly, should just come right out, and I just recommend sitting it on top of your steering wheel. Next after that, there's just a couple screws on the back of the steering wheel. There's like 4 screws. They're really easy. They're barely even tightened in there. They're super easy to get out. You're gonna find them down here on the bottom, and this little outside screw hole right here. They're right behind the paddle shifter. If you have an automatic, they're really easy to find because it's right behind the paddle shifter. And then for some reason, Hyundai decided they needed to screw the trim piece in even more, and they put screws here and here. Those are unscrewed from the inside of the steering wheel. They're not on the back. The hardest screws to get out of this entire thing are going to be right here and right here. And the catch with these is they are facing towards you. They're facing this way. So you have to get behind this little space with a Phillips head and unscrew them. The way I did it was I had like a little Phillips head bit that I stuck into the screw, and then I got a little crescent wrench and turned it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's such a pain. But after that, your bottom trim piece and your button panels on both sides will come out, because the trim piece and the button panels are connected. You have to take them out together. But yeah, that's basically how to take the steering wheel apart. It's an absolute pain. I know it's definitely not easy. It's gonna be pretty time consuming. It took me about 30-ish minutes to an hour just because of these screws and the airbag screws. So, I mean, you're gonna have to take some time out of your day to do this. All right, so after literally like a day an entire day of painting. I'm finally pretty much done with it. All right, so it's actually the next day because it was kind of late last night when I finished all this up. But look at that, boys. I mean, I think that looks pretty clean. The paint job actually came out really well. I mean, there's a very slight orange peel in it, but other than that, it's completely fine. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And of course, I'm not gonna try and touch this part that's painted, that I painted, for like a week, because paint doesn't fully cure to plastic for like 5 to 7 days. So I've got to be kind of careful not to touch it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome rest of your day.